You're too worried about people's opinions of you, and you're too worried about how people are thinking of you. I was on this Mel Robbins podcast, and she was having an interview with this guy who was incarcerated, aged 17 to age 37. When he got out of prison, he said that he believed that there were more people incarcerated who are out of prison than there are people who are actually incarcerated in prison mentally. Basically, what he was saying was, he was like, man, like when he was in prison, though he was surrounded by bars, though he was, quote unquote incarcerated, he realized that once he got into the real world, once he stepped out of prison and went into, like the real world, he realized like, man, everyone's acting the same way. Everyone's trying to be liked. Everyone's trying to do the same thing, have the same haircut, do the same things. Like, man, people literally have cells wrapped around their brains. And that really stood out to me, guys, heavily. Remember when I finally chose to do acting and move to New York, guys, I had friends literally cut me off who thought I was losing my mind because I wanted to become an actor, because, I come from like the Southern bubble, and a lot of the kids I grew up with were, not everyone, but like a lot of my close friends were also quite privileged. And so like everyone, I think we're like, dude, like, what are you doing? Some people thought it was super cool and super like rad that I was going to New York to become an actor. A lot of people thought I was just going to be a model, but in my mind, I was going to be an actor. I just didn't tell anybody about it. But, and guys, like that just really goes to show you, because even right now to this day, I get messages, DMs, or phone calls from people who still have my numbers. Usually those people who don't really associate with don't have my number anymore. But I get these messages, these Facebook messages, these DMs like, bro, can I get into modeling? Bro, can I get into acting? But in the past, they would make fun of me. They would like, do jokes, say things behind my back. Whenever I heard this interview with Mel Robbins, and I forgot his name, I'm not going to butcher it, where he was saying that we as people, we're like living cells, like we literally have a cell around our minds, and I'm not including myself in that, but guys, I think a lot of that is so true when it comes to just human beings in this day and age. I think that a lot of people do try to be like everybody else. They do try to say the right thing and be the right person. I mean, be the right person for yourself, and I hate to sound like I'm preaching, but that really stood out to me, because his whole message was just to, make your dreams a reality, create your own life and create your own dream life. And guys, we are all made individual for a reason. I'm not the same as you. You can never be me. No one can ever be me. So I'm going to be me to the absolute fullest. And the same goes for you. I can never be you who's watching this video. Be yourself fully, to the absolute fullest. And he was saying also, one thing that really spoke out to me, he says that, what did he say? I think he said something that goes around this motto: your future self is coming. Your future self is coming. Your future self will be here sooner than you think it. Time is not as long as we think it is. So why not spend this day, this second, this month, this year doing what it is you need to have to get done to get to where you want to be? And not saying that life has to be a rat race, but hey, and one thing he said that I really liked a lot was that he was telling Mel that, she asked him, why are you doing all this for a generation that you will never see? Basically, he was talking about, creating generational wealth for his family that's going to come after he's dead. And he was like, well, he said, because it's my duty. It's my mission. That's how I feel personally, guys. And obviously, there's people who don't have that duty, who don't have that mission, that would never understand it. They would never get that. But it's something I believe that's in our blood, people like me, where we've come here to create and to put our foot on the necks of the people who don't really want to help make life a better place, to really, and not even people, but just even on that whole substance, why not be great? Why not create income for your family, create wealth for your family, your friends, for your community? I just feel so alive. This past month, I've been becoming the best version of myself, and I've been only attracted to things that are really moving me up to that. And what I will tell you guys, what I can tell you, is that once you do start making the not just the mindsets, but the actions of being a better version of yourself, whatever that looks like, because we all have different things in our lives that can make us be the better version of ourselves. But what I will tell you is that it really does change your life. It changes how you feel, how you feel in this world. It changes how people react to you. It brings business opportunities to you if you're a business-minded person. It brings amazing opportunities. It makes your family look at you differently, your friends, your coworkers, what have you. It really does. It really does change. And I'm just so grateful for YouTube and for social media, for it's allowing me to do what I always wanted to do, was to be your friend, was to be a friend to the world. I've always loved the world. I've always loved people, and I'm able to do that through this outlet, through YouTube, through TikTok, through Instagram, and the other sources as well. But those are the ones I use. So, I'm just really, really grateful, and I just really wanted to come on here and share that insight that I heard and learned from listening to Mel Robbins' podcast. So before you leave this video today, I want you to think about this. Think about, what cell have you put yourself in mentally? And I want you to be really, really personal with that. I'm not saying you got to tell, anyone about this, but what is that cell? What part of you have you been hiding from the world? Is there any part in your life that you've been lying to others about, or lying to yourself about? What is that thing that you really want to do? What is that thing that you really want to say to that person? Take action, guys. Like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. And that doesn't need to sound like a sad thing, but it's a beautiful thing. We have a limited time on this earth. Why not love? Why not be prosperous? Why not achieve your greatness, or at least try to? And I feel like getting into that mindset, getting into that action orientedness, I really do believe it'll make the world a better place to live. And I think that we'll be even more loving. I'm not saying that there isn't love on this earth right now. Like, there is a lot of it, especially with me and especially with the people I'm around. But I had the 10% came on my phone, so I had to hit close. I may edit that out, or I may not. We'll see. I want to be more authentic, But yeah, guys, today is Friday where I'm at, and I urge you to try this today. Go out into the world, go be your authentic self, and go remove those cells that you've had. And a lot of the times, guys, those cells that you've been having, the only thing they've been keeping out is opportunities and blessings. So take it off for the weekend and put in the comments, what are you going to do? What has been your cell, and are you going to try it this weekend? All right, guys, have a phenomenal day, and take those mother cells off. Be yourself, because that's what we want to see. I love y'all. Take care.